The morning does not arrive here with noise. It arrives as a slow spill of light over the fence line, touching first the pale bark of the birch, then the gravel, then the bench. Nothing moves. The air is cool but not cold, still but not heavy. You can feel the house behind you, its walls solid and warm, but you do not turn to look at it. Instead, your eyes rest on the stone lantern, gray and quiet, as if it has always been here. The gravel makes no sound because no one walks on it. The moss holds its green without effort. This is a garden that asks for nothing, not even attention. It simply exists, enclosed on all sides, a small room without a roof. The light changes by degrees too slow to notice, and that is the only event. Shadows in this garden are not accidents. They are the second architecture. Here the wall and the house meet at a right angle, and the afternoon sun draws a line across the sand that never wavers. The rake marks in the sand are still perfect, as if made by someone who then stepped away forever. The shrub is a single green shape, a punctuation mark at the end of a sentence no one wrote. You do not wonder what lies beyond the wall. The wall is enough. Its white surface holds the light without reflecting it, and the brick beside it is dark and quiet. This corner has no purpose. It is not a sitting area or a planting bed. It is simply a place where space turns inward on itself. The sand does not shift. The shadow does not slide. Time here is measured only by the slow warmth on your back if you stood here, but you are not standing here. You are only watching. A passage is not a room, but this one feels like a hallway to somewhere that does not exist. The walls are close on either side, the house on one hand, the fence on the other, and the sky is a strip of pale blue far above. Light falls through the maple in small coins that rest on the surface of the water basin without breaking it. The water is so still that you cannot tell where the surface begins. It could be glass. It could be stone. The basin is dark gray, simple, a rectangle that holds nothing but reflection. No fish, no plants, no movement. The gravel around it is even, tamped down by no feet. You could stand here for an hour and hear only the distant sound of your own breath inside your ears. This is not a garden you move through. It is a garden you arrive inside and then stop. The passage ends at a wooden gate that is closed. It will stay closed. The glass door is closed. Through it you see a patio that is almost empty. 3 pavers, white pebbles, 1 planter, 1 grass, that is all. The grass does not move because there is no wind in this enclosed space. Its blades are dry and pale green, standing straight as if painted. The concrete planter is rough, unfinished, heavy. It anchors the scene like a period at the end of a line. The pebbles are clean, uniform, no leaf litter, no dirt. This is not neglect. This is intention so quiet that it disappears. The house behind you is dark inside, but you do not turn around. The light on the patio is flat, soft, without drama. It falls evenly on everything, giving no shadow privilege over any other shape. You could slide the door open and step out, but there is no reason to. Everything that needs to be seen is already visible through the glass. The garden is complete without you. Winter light is the most honest light. It does not flatter. Here it falls on a small maple without leaves, its branches a fine gray net against the fence behind it. The mulch below is black, deep, and the stepping stone is almost buried as if the ground has slowly accepted it. You can see the grain of the wood on the deck beside it, silvered by weather but still solid. Nothing is growing. Nothing is dying. Everything is simply pausing. The stone is round and smooth, placed without ceremony. You do not know if it leads anywhere because the mulch ends at the fence. The fence is high and stained dark brown, closing the view completely. This garden does not pretend to be larger than it is. It shows you its limits openly, and in those limits you find not frustration but relief. The maple will leaf again, but not today. Today it is enough to be bare. The wall has a wound, a small square cutout deliberate that shows a fragment of the other side. Moss grows there, so green it seems to glow against the gray concrete. Dew has settled on the wall's surface in tiny beads that catch the morning light but do not sparkle. They are too still to sparkle. Through the opening you see nothing else, just moss and the suggestion of shadow beyond. This is not a window, it is a reduction. The garden reduces itself to a single patch of moss seen through a hole in a wall. And that is enough. Your eye does not search for more because more would break the quiet. The concrete is rough, porous, warm where the light touches it, cool in the shade of the opening. You could put your finger through the square, but you do not. The space between you and the moss is exactly the right distance, close enough to see detail, far enough to feel separate. The garden holds you at that distance and will not let you closer. 3 walls and an opening. That is the shape of this courtyard. The house wraps around it like a hand cupping air. The bench is curved to follow the wall, made of dark metal that holds the heat of the sun long after the sun has moved. The fire bowl sits in the center of the gravel, black and cold, a dark circle in a gray field. No ash, no char, no evidence that it has ever been lit. The gravel is deep, each stone the same size, raked into gentle ridges that radiate from the bowl. The ridges are perfect, untouched. No one has walked here today. No one will. The sky above is a rectangle of pale blue, but the walls are high enough that you feel covered, sheltered, held. This is not a space for gathering. It is a space for being alone in the presence of empty things. The bench does not invite you to sit. It simply exists, and its existence is the whole point. The gate is not fully closed. It has been left ajar, just enough for a blade of light to cut through. Through the gap you see a stone path, no more than 4 stones, leading to a wooden chair. The chair faces away from you toward the fence. The wood is untreated, gray, the same color as the fence. The path is straight and short. It goes exactly from the gate to the chair and then stops. There is no reason for the chair to face the fence except that the fence is the only thing to face. The light through the gap is golden, thick, almost liquid. It falls on the first stone and then stops, as if the rest of the path is in a different time of day. You could push the gate open. You could walk the path. You could sit in the chair and look at the fence. But the gate being ajar is more interesting than the gate being open. It promises nothing and delivers exactly that. The garden does not change whether you enter or not. This is the leftover space, the strip that no one knows what to do with, but here it has been given a simple order. 3 boxwoods, identical in size and shape, evenly spaced, white gravel that mirrors the light. The fence on one side is high and solid. The driveway on the other is concrete, gray, with the edge of a car shadow touching the gravel. The shadow does not move because the car does not move. The boxwoods do not grow because they have been trimmed to stillness. Everything in this strip has agreed to stop changing. You look down the length of it and see repetition, pattern, calm. This is not a garden you admire. It is a garden you forget is there until you look at it directly. And when you do look, you realize that forgetfulness is the point. The strip asks for nothing, not even to be noticed. It simply fills the space between the drive and the fence without apology. From the bedroom window, the courtyard is a painting. The window frame is dark wood, thick, cutting the edges of the view into a rectangle within a rectangle. Below, the lawn is impossibly green, small, a perfect square of grass that has no purpose. In its center lies a flat stone, gray, smooth, too large to be a stepping stone and too small to be a table. It is simply a stone on grass. The walls of the courtyard rise on all sides, covered in pale stucco, featureless. No door leads into this space. No gate. The only access is through the house, but the window is closed. You look down and see a garden that is completely inaccessible from the outside. It is a secret room, a green square that only the bedroom window can witness. The stone does not move. The grass does not grow visibly. The light shifts across the stucco in slow arcs, and you stand at the glass, breathing quietly, watching nothing happen. The bench is not in the frame, only its shadow is. The shadow falls across the cedar slats, a dark geometry of legs and seat and back, stretched and distorted by the low angle of the sun. The slats are warm, honey-colored, evenly spaced so that the shadow breaks across the gaps in thin lines of light. This is a photograph of absence. The bench exists somewhere behind the camera, but you cannot see it. You can only see what it leaves behind. The cedar wall is the true subject, its grain running vertically, its surface rough enough to hold shadow but smooth enough to let it slide. No one sits on the bench because the bench is not here. The garden has reduced itself to a shadow on wood, and that reduction feels complete. You do not need to see the bench. You know it is there from the shape of its absence. The light will move, the shadow will lengthen and fade, and the wall will remain. The fence has a hole, not a flaw, a feature. A circular opening cut at eye level, just large enough to put your face to. Through it you see another garden, smaller than this one, a pocket of space behind the fence. A single bamboo stem rises from a bed of dark pebbles. Its leaves are still, pale green, segmented like a spine. The light is overcast, soft, without direction, so the bamboo casts no shadow. The pebbles are wet as if it rained earlier, but no rain falls now. The space beyond the hole has no bench, no path, no purpose. It is just a bamboo and some pebbles inside a wooden box made of fence. You cannot reach it. The hole is too small for your hand. You can only look. This is the garden's way of reminding you that some things are meant to be seen but never touched. The bamboo does not know you are watching. It stands as it has stood for days, weeks, leaning slightly but not falling. The pot is empty and turned on its side as if abandoned, but nothing is abandoned here. The tilt is intentional, the emptiness chosen. A few dry oak leaves have gathered against the rim, not blown by wind but settled by gravity. The deck wood is gray, weathered, the grain raised. The light is low and orange, end-of-day light that makes everything look older than it is. The pot is terracotta, faded to a pale rust, its inside dark with shadow. No plant has lived in it for a long time. No plant will. This is not a failure. This is a decision. The garden includes its empty vessels as easily as its full ones. The leaves do not need to be swept away. The pot does not need to be righted. Stillness here means accepting things as they have come to rest. The orange light fades as you watch, and the pot's shadow stretches across the deck, and nothing changes except the angle of the light. That is the only motion. The kitchen window is open a crack, but no air moves. Through the glass you see the side yard, so narrow that the cypress almost touches both the fence and the house. The tree is tall, columnar, dark green against the pale fence. Its shadow climbs the house wall like a ladder, distorted by the morning angle, stretching across the white paint in long vertical stripes. The light is cold, blue-white, early morning before the sun has warmed anything. The fence is in shadow. The tree is in light. The house wall is half and half. You stand at the sink with your hands dry, looking out at a garden that is almost entirely vertical. The cypress takes up most of the view. There is no sky, only tree and fence and wall. This is not a garden you walk in. It is a garden you see from a window while washing dishes. And that is enough. The tree does not sway. The shadow does not move while you watch. The morning holds its breath. Dusk turns the garden into a study in blue and black. The house is a dark shape against a sky that has not yet lost all its light. The fence lines have disappeared into shadow. Only the lantern remains, a small warm pool of orange on the patio, lighting nothing but itself. The rest of the garden is silhouette. The bench, the gravel, the single tree, the empty pot. You cannot see details anymore. You see only shapes, and the shapes are enough. The blue hour is the quietest hour. The garden has been still all day, but now it is still in a different way. Now it feels held, wrapped in the coming night. The lantern does not flicker. It burns steadily, a single point of warmth in all that cool blue. No one will come out to sit by it. No one will turn it off. It will burn until its fuel runs out, and then the garden will be dark. But that is later. Now there is this light and the silence and the slow fade of the sky from blue to deeper blue. The garden ends here, in this light. Not with a conclusion, but with a pause.